Thank you very much, David. Dear friends, I'm truly overwhelmed, humbled, and honored. This is a very intimate and dear evening for me personally. In short, the school that I love and I cherish believes that I was worthy of the education it provided me with. Additionally, this happens in the presence of so many people that I call friends after all these years. I promise not to be long, so just allow me to tell you why I believe AUB is relevant, and then leave you with two thoughts, one about public service and the other about return migration. So we all wonder why AUB is relevant, and I have a list of questions that actually explain why. Is it because we all love our school? Or is it because we all cherish the wonderful memories and lifelong friendships we made at AUB? Or is it because we received world-class liberal education at AUB? Or is it because AUB instilled in us the power of critical thinking and self-confidence? To me, the answer is a resounding yes to all of these questions. There's nothing more critical and important than education for the prosperity and the future of Lebanon and its people inside the country and throughout the diaspora. Equally, there is no liberal education institution in the Middle East that is as relevant and as necessary as AUB. Now let me remind you of some historical facts just to highlight why this is the case. 1868, AUB established the third oldest museum in the Near East after Cairo and Constantinople. 1900, AUB introduced business education to the Middle East. 1905, AUB established the first nursing school in the Middle East. 1952, AUB established the first faculty of agriculture in AUB, in Lebanon. 1954, AUB established the first school of public health in the region. 2008, AUB inaugurated the first neuromuscular diagnostic lab in the Arab world. And in 2017, as many of you recall, AUB doctors performed the first successful heart transplant for a pediatric patient in Lebanon. Moreover, for those who value Ivy Leagues, and I believe they do so rightly, AUB was the first university to go co-ed in the region, beating powerhouses like Harvard and MIT by about 20 years. In short, AUB is by far the most important American institution in the Middle East. It provides an education that empowers individuals and prepares them to deal with complexity, diversity, and change. It also provides students with broad knowledge of a wider world, as well as in-depth study of a specific area of interest. It also instills confidence and a sense of social responsibility. Yet, above all, AUB develops the ability of critical thinking, the ability to question givens. The ability to question givens, this is exactly what AUB, its students, its professors, its graduates, and I will say also its president, are asserting nowadays in Lebanon, when positive change feels more at hand than ever before. In the past, AUB was the cradle of the student movement in Lebanon. And also today, AUB is part and parcel of the current drive towards reform and a civil state in Lebanon. Now moving along, just to talk a little bit about public service, and I found a very interesting quote by Martin Luther King, and I quote, "Everybody can be great because everybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love." End of quote. What I'm trying to say is you are all great just because you can serve. There's nothing special or unique about me or about your ability, about me or your ability to serve. I definitely don't have superhuman gifts. I'm just a regular person. In the US, they call them everyday Americans, I believe, especially in political campaigns. Therefore, I'm an everyday Lebanese who believes in the utility of public service. I want you to know that there are many other good public servants in Lebanon, though it's difficult to believe they exist nowadays. You don't believe they exist only because you don't see them. And you don't see them because they mostly exist in entry-level and mid-level positions in the public sector. You don't see them because they can't break the ceilings of political favoritism when it comes to leadership positions. They do exist, and they believe that profitability is not monetary in the public sector, but rather it is public good. That said, and in all honesty, I can't really measure the difference, if any at all, that Vanessa and I have made in serving our community. However, I can tell you, and with absolute certainty, that making a difference in the lives of people is not as difficult as one might think. Now finally, on return migration, tonight we will have the pleasure of reliving the amazing journey of Raif Shwairi's grandfather that eventually led to the founding of Al-Kafa'at University and institutions in Lebanon, the amazing Kafa'at. It is a powerful story that serves as a remarkable illustration of what each and every one of you can do to give back to Lebanon and to help build the modern state that we all want and deserve. Lebanon is yours. It is your mother